Huawei P40 release date, news and leaks, as well as the Huawei P40 Pro. The upcoming Huawei P40 and its expected big brother, the P40 Pro, is one of the tech industry's biggest enigmas. Will it actually ever be released or not? Despite Huawei's claims the phone will land in March, we're unsure. Because of the ongoing Huawei ban, new smartphones from the company can't use any Google apps, including the Play Store, greatly restricting their capabilities and value versus other smartphones. That will likely include the Huawei P40 Pro in a similar way to how the Huawei Mate 30 Pro was impacted. Despite the dubious future laid out for Huawei's handsets, we're eagerly anticipating the upcoming Huawei P40 smartphone. The Huawei P30 and P30 Pro from 2019 are some of our favorite phones, with the latter topping our best camera phones list for a long time. New phones like the Samsung Galaxy S20 family as well as the rumored iPhone 12 are sure to be tough competition for Huawei and its P40 phones, so it'll be exciting to see what the company includes in 2020. We'll be updating this video with all the latest Huawei P40 leaks and rumors as they happen, to bring you the best idea of what to expect ahead of the handset's official launch. Latest news: it seems increasingly likely that the Huawei P40 and P40 Pro will both be 5G phones, with a regulatory body in China seemingly confirming that fact in a listing. Huawei has confirmed that the Huawei P40 will be announced in Paris at the end of March. This comes as no surprise, since the P30 and P30 Pro were unveiled in Paris in March 2019, and the P20 and P20 Pro launch event took place in March 2018. We had anticipated it being launched at MWC 2020, but that event has now been cancelled. March makes sense as Huawei likes to separate its phone launches from other big tech events like the Samsung Galaxy S20 launch. It had previously launched new P-series handsets at MWC in Barcelona at the end of February, but that's a show which features a huge number of launches and it gets more exposure by delaying by a couple of weeks and holding its own event in March. The Huawei P40 price is a more interesting conversation. At launch the Huawei P30 cost £699 per 1,099 Australian dollars, roughly $910, and the P30 Pro started at £899, 1,599 Australian dollars, around $1,140, which were both pricier than the previous year's entries. We've heard the Huawei P40 price could roughly match the P30, but the Pro model might actually be a little bit more affordable than its 2019 equivalent. The rumored Huawei P40 Pro Premium Edition is apparently going to set you back a whopping €1,200, around $1,320, £1,015, 1,955 Australian dollars, which is enough to rival the most pricey phones on the market. One thing we're not expecting though: for the Huawei P40 to be available in the US, as previous Huawei phones haven't been. Huawei P40 news and rumors. Since Christmas 2019, the flow of Huawei P40 leaks and rumors have picked up somewhat, and we're starting to get a clearer picture of what the phone could look like. Well, we would if some of the leaks weren't slightly contradictory. The first piece of news is the biggest. Despite the Huawei ban throwing the future of the company into disarray, it seems like Huawei still plans to launch the Huawei P40 globally. Even if the ban is still in place when the phone is set to release, the launch will go ahead. The handset will just come without Google apps. This might make it a little useless, since most people only use a smartphone for its apps. The Huawei P40 and P40 Pro could both be 5G phones, as a listing for a Chinese regulatory body suggests. This makes sense as they're expected to run on the Kirin 990 chipset, which supports that next-gen connectivity. A Huawei exec has also said that the P40 will have a never-seen design, suggesting big changes to the look, and that it will run Android 10 without Google services, and have performance and photo quality improvements. Leaked renders of the phone, and subsequent hands-on pictures, suggest it'll actually look pretty familiar, with a design that's incredibly similar to what we're expecting the Samsung Galaxy S20 and OnePlus 8 to also look like too. It seems 2020 is the year all phones look the same. Those renders to show the different colors the phone could come in, from expected options like black and white to some more interesting tones like almond and blue-ish. The design of the Huawei P40, at least the Pro model, might actually come without the curved screen of the P30 Pro, according to leaked screen renders. The leak seems tentative, so it might be wrong, but we could see the newer device be a little less top-end compared to its predecessor. We've seen screen protectors that suggest there will be a curved screen though, so the flat screen leak seems dubious. We've also seen a leaked image of the Huawei P40 camera bump. The rear lump seems to be in the top left of the phone's back, same as in the Huawei P30, and it doesn't seem too intrusive either, at least compared to devices from other companies. A leaked render gives us a different angle, and it looks like the bump could be just as long, but much wider, than the P30's. But we know what you really want to know, the exact specs, and we've heard many rumors of the Huawei P40 Pro camera specs. The device is said to have a 5-camera array consisting of a 64MP main snapper, 12MP zoom camera, which is supposed to facilitate up to 10x optical zoom, which would be the best in a smartphone, and ultra-wide, depth sensing and macro cameras of unspecified resolution. Saying that, a separate leak suggests the main camera will be a 52MP snapper, and the fact that leaks are contradicting each other suggests we shouldn't take any of them as gospel just yet. That 52MP claim has now been made again, with a source adding that it would use quad bias tech to combine 16 pixels into one, resulting in snaps of just 3.25MP, but with a massive pixel size which would likely allow for superb low-light shots. Of course, you wouldn't have to shoot at 3.25MP, as it's also rumored to support 4-in-1 pixels for 13MP shots, and would likely allow you to shoot in full 52MP quality as well. This source also reiterated the claims of a 10x zoom lens, saying that this would be possible by using 2 prisms in the mechanism, rather than the single prism that current periscope lenses on smartphones use. One of the sources also stated that the base Huawei P40 would have 4 rear cameras, dropping either of the latter 2 cameras, but another rumor suggests the Huawei P40 will have the same 3 cameras as the Huawei P30. We've got our reservations about that, because it wouldn't make sense for a device that'll put such an emphasis on photography to not innovate in the camera department, but perhaps Huawei has something else up its sleeves.